Happy Thursday, everyone! My name is Emily, and I am finally on the correct day. I know, and this video is really late, but it's getting done. Alright, so this week the girls and I are going to be doing our coming out stories. And my coming out kind of goes hand in hand, I guess, with my story of self-discovery and figuring out my sexual orientation and everything. So I guess I'll just start way back in the beginning. So I guess the first time I started really realizing that I liked girls would be around kindergarten. So I guess that'd be like age 4. Yeah, so my kindergarten year I developed a huge crush, and actually my first real, like, heartfelt crush on a girl. And it was really, I guess, I look back on it and I guess it wasn't a big deal to me. She was a girl, but she wasn't a boy, she was a girl, and that didn't really bother me. And I kind of forgot about it, actually, as the years went on. And I guess I continued to sort of, feel my way around not just being straight throughout, I guess, my entire elementary school period of life, though I never really considered myself anything but heterosexual, if a little kid even thinks that. I just, was who I was. But I did start to realize around second or so grade that I was kind of developing crushes on my girlfriends as well as, my friends that were guys. And at the time, I didn't really think that it was anything out of the ordinary, and I kind of assumed that this is how everyone felt, or, all girls felt about their friends that were girls. And it wasn't until about 5th or so grade that I started to think that maybe it wasn't just how friends feel about friends, and maybe it was more than that, and maybe it was actually having a crush. But I knew that I wasn't lesbian, and so it really confused me, because I knew that I liked guys. So how could I possibly like girls? I didn't realize that there was a middle ground between being straight and being gay. And so I kept on going, and I went into middle school, and in 6th grade, like late in the year, I was taking a snowboarding class, and I met a girl who was a couple years older than me, who was out as being bisexual, and before then I had never really even considered that being a possibility, because I didn't even know it was a possibility. And she's like, yeah, I like guys and girls, and it was just like, I think that might be what I am, but I didn't really know, and so I told her, I was like, hey, is this how you felt? I have little crushes on my friends that are girls, and I have crushes on guys also. Is this how you felt? And she was really supportive and helped me, and I honestly think if it wasn't for her, I may never have really figured it out sexuality-wise. And so, even after that, though, I was still kind of questioning. Of course, I was like 12 years old, so I don't really know. And I kept on, going through my life, kind of, wondering. And I was still questioning through 7th grade, and I didn't tell anyone. And by the end of 7th grade, I was finally, like, really starting to really seriously question myself. And so I was walking home from school one day with one of my really, really close friends, and I just said, hey, I think I might like girls, and she was really, really supportive and was like, that's totally cool, if you do, awesome, if you don't, awesome, I'm going to be here for you either way. And so that kind of gave me confidence to not feel weird about the fact that I may possibly have been bisexual. And I kept questioning myself again through that summer and into 8th grade. And at the beginning of 8th grade, I really started to solidify in my own head that I definitely liked girls. And so around the beginning of 8th grade, I discovered this artist who's a music artist named Amanda Palmer. And I have to admit, she's probably my first celebrity crush, and she was one of, like, female celebrity crushes, and she really kind of internally solidified my bisexuality, which I think is really interesting. And so I definitely you know, I kept it a secret, but I was definitely like, okay, this makes sense. I'm accepting it. There we go. The end. And it wasn't until the week after spring break, my 8th grade year, when one of the guys at my school just came up to me and was like, I don't know you very well, but you seem trustworthy. I'm gay. And he came out to me, and this was a kid I didn't know, and wasn't until that moment that I even really, you know, was thinking about coming out to anyone. And after he did it, it gave me the guts to go and tell people. And so after he told me, I then told him back. I was like, yeah, I think I like, you know, I like girls. And we kind of bonded over that. And a week later, my school went on a field trip to California, and we went to San Diego, and I finally came out to one of my friends as being bi. And it was really, really beautiful moment. We were walking through a park, and we had gone off the trail, and we were walking through all of these flowers, and I said, I have something to tell you, and so we sat down on a rock, and we were just looking out over San Diego, and I just said, hey, I'm bisexual. And it's just so cheesy, and it's like a scene out of the movie. It was so campy, but they were, you know, it totally accepted me with loving arms. And after that, you know, over the course of the rest of the trip, I told all of my friends. And so I was 100% out to all of my friends by the end of 8th grade year. And then I, you know, slowly was gaining confidence coming out to more and more people during that summer. And the start of 9th grade, after freshman academy, which is this, like, testing out freshman year of high school, and you learn all about what it's like to be in high school before you actually start it. It's like the last week of summer. So right after freshman academy, I was like, I started to develop feeling towards one of the girls in my grade. And I, you know, decided, I guess this is the time, if, you know, because she was gay, and so I was like, if I end up dating this girl, I guess it's time that I tell my parents. And so I chose a really weird time to tell my mom, and we were in the drive-through line of a Taco Bell. Yeah, I came out to my mom at Taco Bell, and we were pulling up. We had just ordered our food, and I was like, okay, we have a 30-second gap or so before we get to the window. And I just turned to my mom and I said, hey Mom, so I like this girl that I met at Freshman Academy. And she just goes, oh, you're lesbian. And I'm like, no, I like guys and girls. And then I was cut off, and we had to get our food from the window. And it was a really weird, awkward moment to spring it upon her, but I think it was the best, honestly. And then afterwards, we pulled into the parking lot and just talked about it, and I told her all about how I'd had a crush on the girl in kindergarten and how I'd been questioning myself all these all of these years, and finally, this is the truth, this is who I am, this is how I feel, just letting you know in case I date a girl that it's natural and that's who I am and I'm not confused. I've known for a really long time. And she was confused by it, but not unaccepting. She's still a little bit confused by it. She's not quite a believer in bisexuality. But, you know, whatever. If in her mind I'm straight, then I guess I'm straight until I date a girl. And then I'm lesbian. I don't really mind the titles. Whatever. And so after that, she went and she told my dad, and we had a discussion as a family about it, and my dad was even less believing in bisexuality. But they know now, and I've had recent conversations with them, and they're becoming more and more accepting of it and understanding of it, which is good. So after I got all of that out of the way, and it was uncomfortable and awkward, but really, really necessary, and it wasn't, I knew from the beginning that it wasn't going to be something where I got kicked out of the house or they wouldn't be accepting of it, because my family is really liberal. Well, my household is, and so I knew that I wasn't really risking anything by telling them, but that didn't make it any less nerve-wracking. So I'm out to my household now, but I'm really not out to the rest of my family. My dad's side of the family is incredibly, incredibly Catholic, and I know that if they found out, they would probably cut me off. And then my mom's side of the family is really liberal, but I just haven't gotten to the point that I feel like I'm comfortable enough with them to have that conversation. And I don't really know what the time to spring it on them, and I'm thinking that I probably won't tell them until I have a girlfriend, and at that point it's pretty simple. It's just, look at my cute girlfriend, she's really sweet, I love her, that sort of thing. And I know they'd be really accepting. I just haven't found the time to really tell them, because I want to, tell them as one group. But yeah, so I don't think I will come out to my dad's side anytime soon. If something, I'm not ashamed of who I am, and I'm not going to be ashamed of anyone I'm with. So when push comes to shove and the time is right, they're going to find out anyway. But I know that I'll be kicked out from that side of the family. It's pretty much a guarantee. I might have a few aunts and uncles that are okay with it, but I think for the most part, I'll be kind of disowned. Which sucks, but honestly, what can you do? I'm not close with them, so it won't be nearly as heartbreaking as it could possibly be. It'll still hurt, but I think I'll be able to get over it. So I guess now I don't even really bother, coming out to people. I kind of have stopped with the whole, hey, what's up, I'm bi. It's now oh, by the way, girls are hot, so are guys. I try to slide it in there. Ryan Gosling's hot. So is Scarlett Johansson. Kind of stuff like that. I am willing to answer everyone's questions and stuff like that. And I kind of have recently decided to allow people to think what they think. If they hear me talk about hot guys and assume I'm straight, okay. If they hear me talk about hot girls and assume I'm lesbian, fine. Honestly, being gay or straight isn't an insult, and I'm not insulted by either title, even though neither one is what I am. They'll just be proven wrong when I date a guy or a girl, so there you go. Honestly, coming out is scary. It's really, really frightening. No matter, how liberal your family is, it's still a little nerve-wracking, because it's, being gay, being bi, being lesbian, being trans, being asexual, being... Every single title in the book has a negative connotation to some people, and so sometimes it's scary. It can be really scary, but it's worth it in the end. And as it's said in a lot of videos, it does get better, and those people that don't accept you are not the people that you want to be friends with. They're not the people you want to be involved with. I think it was RuPaul who said one of the wonderful things about being LGBT is that we get to choose our families. And it's true. We get to find people that really get us and love us no matter what. And not everyone really feels like they have the privilege to do that, but we do. And, coming out is necessary. And love who you are. I guess that's the motto of this one. Love who you are. And have a good night. I'm Emily. Go ahead and check out the links below. Follow us at gaytogaycollab.tumblr.com, and you can follow me at passiveconspiracy.tumblr.com. On either sites, feel free to shoot me a question or shoot any of the other girls a question on our Tumblr. I'll see you guys next week when we talk about religion. Bye.